This is Wino from The Obsessed, and you're listening to The Haunted Chapel with BZ and Johnny.
Welcome to the Haunted Chapel. It's like church, but for metal. Here are your hosts, John Araya and Brittany Elliott.
Welcome back to the Haunted Chapel. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We have a great episode today. I'm John.
I'm Brittany.
And our episode today is awesome. With a great legend and good friend of Britt's. Really good friend.
Family.
That's pretty cool. More family than friend. But before we get into that, we just want to say subscribe to our YouTube, like our stuff, check out our podcast on all podcast platforms, wherever you get them, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, all that. We're on everything. We're trying to get out there, and we're also starting up a Twitch TV where we can start doing live streaming pretty soon. So as soon as we get that up and running, we'll let you know and check it out. Subscribe where we can talk about records and songs and
Maybe
stuff.
start streaming live from the tattoo shop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what else? Oh, we got some giveaways up too on our website.
Yeah. We got 2 new giveaways up. We've got a full day session tattoo giveaway, so that's always fun. And I always look forward to drawing the winning ticket and seeing who's going to be stuck in my grasp. I try to give back. I give away the full day session, and then if the giveaway makes more than that, then I always give away more hours and more time so more people can win. And also we've got the new heavy metal tables giveaway up right now, and it is a freaking amazing giant purple Black Sabbath table with galactic sparkle in it. And
it's nice.
Yeah,
super nice.
Johnny rigged up a really cool color changing LED light underneath that illuminates this big Sabbath cross that I painted on the lower tier. So it's got 2 tiers, the big table, and then it's got a really big long drawer that you could fit your remotes or all your goodies or whatever you're going to put in your table. So yeah,
that one came really nice.
It's awesome. I hate giving them away sometimes because they're my babies, but I like making the people happy. So thank you guys. So on that note, you can donate $20 and get your name in the pot, and all that money gets circulated back into materials. And also we make merch to give you guys. So if you enter 2 tickets or more, you get one of my new flash sticker packs, and I've got all kinds of cool new stickers from some of my most recent flash. And also, we got some cool fun new buttons made. I don't know if you can see them, but it's the logo of us as skeletons, and then I entered the THC giveaway button and a little nugget hellion version of me. So that one's fun. So yeah, so you'll get some goodies in the mail, and hopefully somebody super awesome will win. But I know all of you that enter are super awesome, so we're super stoked to be giving away some prizes on Valentine's Day. So stay tuned and
that's right. The name will be drawn on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for a time.
Yeah, we haven't announced the time yet, but let us know in the comments if we should draw the name earlier in the day or later in the day. Do you guys have Valentine's plans with your significant others? Do you want to watch live? You don't have to be live to win because we didn't announce that in the first place. However, we would prefer if you came on live. So we'll figure out a time, and if we draw your ticket and you're live, you'll probably get some extra prizes. So we always give away extra goodies, and if you're in our live video, you may just win something.
That's right. So tune in and see if you won, because it's always fun. People chime in, we goof around a little bit, Yeah. But it's pretty fun live. Tune in. So picking a name. So check it out on Valentine's Day. We'll let you know what time.
Yeah, check out thehauntedchapel.com to get your name in the drawing.
That's right.
Awesome.
So so check it out. And here's our interview with Wino.
Yeah, I don't know that we mentioned that we're interviewing the legendary guitar god Wino. And Wino is a big part of my life. I'm a huge Obsessed fan, huge Saint Vitus fan. I got the opportunity to tour with Wino in 2013 and 2014, and we've tattooed each other. I've taught him a lot about tattooing, and I am just ultimately grateful for all of the time I've been able to spend with this amazing human being. So we had a little bit of a technical difficulty filming the first 5 minutes, so it's a little rough in the beginning, but without further ado, here is the legendary
Here's Wino. There you go.
Yeah, man. So tell us about what you guys got going on and the Obsessed going to Mexico. You guys are gearing up for tour again, huh?
we are gearing up for tour, but we're also we're gearing up for a European tour in the spring. We don't really have much going on in the States. We're going to play. We got 2 shows coming up in the States. What we're doing is we're going to rehearse starting Valentine's Day for about a week, and then at the end of that weekend, we're going to do 2 shows around here. We're playing in Bergen, New Jersey, at Salty's by the Sea on the 18th, and on the 19th, we're playing Saint Vitus Bar in Brooklyn.
Awesome.
And then we're going to go, we have a week off, then we go into the studio. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to rehearse some new material, hopefully play some new material live at these 2 dates, and then go to the studio, record, and then after that, we're going to Mexico.
Awesome.
Nice.
And basically that's it until springtime, and then we're going to go to Europe. And for the first time in like 7 years. So it should be a lot of fun.
Dude, since the last Vitus tour over there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since you're welcome Wino back. So
Yeah,
they're all gonna
it
fucking
was
love
a little bit
man.
weird too, because it's like, okay, there was an incident. Okay, yeah, my bad. But I it was supposed to be a certain length of time, and it got extended quite a bit actually, just by the
bureaucracy.
Mischievousness of the Scandinavian government. I don't really have to name the country, but anyways, so it's going to be great, man. Got a lot of recordings since then, and I think
Awesome.
people are going to be.
Oh,
We're
nice.
stoked. Yeah. And South America's supposed to be on the table too. Like we had that kind of snatched from us. That's always been my dream to go to South America. We had that kind of snatched away from us, with all the bullshit. And so that's coming up.
Johnny just got back from the tour with Doyle. So
Great.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, we were supposed to go when last March or whatever it was.
2020.
2020 when everything blew up with
right.
disease and all that.
You never been to South America?
But anyway, everything's looking really good. I mean, pretty stoked.
You had never been to South America before, ever?
No, and that's been my lifelong dream. I mean, my theory, I know, I can't wait.
dude, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna be so excited.
Yeah. People always say, man, you feel like the Beatles over there or something,
Yeah. They love that.
But I've always kind of felt that if you can't crack your home state, you're not shit, Right. So we will continue to just play the United States as much as possible, and hope the new record coming out. I don't know exactly when. We've done a third of it, and we're taking our time with it this time because I know it has to be as good or better than Sacred. So
Sacred was amazing. That was pretty mind blowing to hear that and channel the same obsessed sound, and it was awesome. I can't wait. And you got Jason and Chris in the band on the new record, right?
Those guys are great.
What's that?
You got Jason and Chris playing on the new record?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, and he's saying they're starting rehearsals on Valentine's Day. A fun fact is the day before that, the 13th, happens to be Bri Dog and Jason Taylor's birthday.
Yeah.
They share the same Aquarius birthday.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, that's pretty strange, right? Like, we put the band together with Jason, and then we found that out, so it's pretty interesting.
Wow, that's great. And they honestly, they both have kind of like a similar energy. They're both like really chill, mellow, just good-hearted dudes,
Really chill.
So
yeah, badass, good-hearted dudes.
That's right. That's awesome.
I think that this next run, I'm really, really looking forward to this next run because we're going to be playing, new material for, a lot more new material. We've been playing a couple songs here and there, Daughter of an Echo and stuff, but I think that we're gonna let it all hang out. Listen.
Awesome.
So when you say you had 1/3 of the record, then do you mean like recording or just like mixing or?
Well, we recorded the basic tracks, and then we came back and we listened to everything, and we realized that we wanted to like redo a couple.
All right.
Luckily, we had a budget to be able to do that. So we could basically, so it was sort of like, in a way, it was sort of like demoing in the same studio that we're going to do the final recording in.
Right.
Because we go to a huge studio in Delaware to do the drum tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That's like this huge drum room that our engineer really likes. And then we do everything else at his studio, not very far.
Right.
None of it's very far from here, I guess. Well, 6 hours from where we are in New York. But then the 2 studios out there are pretty close to each other. So we sleep at the one studio, the big studio. We can sleep there.
Right.
So we sleep there. We drive there. We take our gear there. We sleep there. And we just go at it,
That's right.
But we were. I don't think we were we weren't quite as prepared as we should have been the first time because of just all the life stuff going on. Like a lot of tragedy,
Yeah.
a lot of drama. But that's all over. So
yeah, let's get back to it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, life seemed like really fucking heavy for a while there.
Sometimes still it seems kind of just like
people
uncertain,
Yeah, I mean, everybody's. I mean, so many of our friends have died
Yep.
in the last 2 years. It's mind blowing, and most of them died from ODing on fentanyl. I mean, I just heard about another friend of mine's sister-in-law yesterday. It's like it doesn't seem like a day goes by almost.
Oh man, my God,
Sad. It's sad.
Bad shit.
that's terrible, man.
But it's all part of all this death, all this drugs, fentanyl and all that, and all this death. Because it's just, I think, part of the plan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you bring people down, and then survival of the fittest. Mentally and physically.
Right, and there's a lot of ways that you were getting attacked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which we watched in your movie there, the Wolfman movie.
Greatest movie of all time.
God.
Everyone needs to go watch Wino and Sharlee's film Wolfman. It is the greatest. Get off your fucking phone for a minute or for an hour and sit down and watch it and keep your attention span on the damn movie because it's a really awesome, powerful message. But you do it really in a way that's like you remember it. You remember the 3 key points that they're trying to shut down, and I won't give it away, but it's like you remember it and then you laugh every time you hear it and then you like start saying it in the movie, and it's great. It's so awesome. And when we were first watching it, we were like laughing and they were like, no, there's like a serious message. And dude, they made all of these sets, they made all of these chopper dudes like
when Leslie gave me the first Bigfoot action figure, I was like, ding! I was like, wow, get 7 more. We're gonna have a club.
We started making those for Patreon, just as like the monthly content. We just made episode. We didn't really think it through, but then we're like, dude, we have like a through line. So we would just like over the course of 3 years, I would make the sets, he would make the choppers, he would do the voices, I'd put together and edit. And turn into a show.
The voices were pain in the ass, man. Because it's like over 3 years, the first voice was you can hear when I hear my own voice shining through too much, I was like,
dude. It's really weird hearing yourself for sure, but like I was like,
let's be honest.
the fucking editing is amazing. I'm like, oh my god, like this is so many like this woman, like wow.
The
voice. She taught herself how to edit. She taught herself how to edit, and part of her day job. And man, it's been mind blowing. She does edits all our art advertisements that we do and stuff.
Yeah, I learned how to edit by working on the doc. I would say
that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the docs. That's the big news.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
That's big news. Okay, we're going to debut the doc in Woodstock on 420 at our friend Andy's theater right in downtown Woodstock. It's Tinker Street Theater on 420. And
then we might have to make a trip.
Yeah, we might do a couple more screenings. Like, I would love to do one in Austin. We don't know yet, but I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
And then possibly something in Europe. But either way, we'll just put it out there, distribute it online and also have hard copy DVDs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool. I mean, the biggest challenge really is to keep from getting ripped off.
No shit. I know all about this.
Yeah, it happens fucking way too much.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do, So, that's why, Wolfman was a good way to sort of test the water. Like, we went with Gumroad as opposed to Vimeo, because Vimeo was a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted information on the content. Let's put it that way. In other words,
they want
a fact check.
Oh yeah.
Fact check this.
Yeah. Exactly.
And not only that, it was just really hard communicating. I don't think they got enough elves in the factory over there. But it worked out.
But Gumroad was cool. I'll shout out them. They were fucking easy.
Okay, hell yeah.
Just like self-putting shit out. That's what I found.
And it's protected somehow, right?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I don't know what the deal. Like, I don't know enough about technology, but if you could just pay for it and then download it somehow, I mean, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a labor of love, obviously. But the doc is something that we really, put our hearts into. Like, we went cross country, as 3 times.
Oh.
So, since I was getting my motorcycle worked on in Austin, then we were able to go to North Carolina, talk to Dixie and Shep. Then we were able to come talk to you all. We were able to, talk to the motorcycle people stuff like that, and interview a lot of people, Bower in New Orleans, so on the way there and back, we accomplished quite a bit. So
Yeah.
That's
cool.
so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are quite the amazing power couple. You know that?
Yeah,
I fucking back this. This is so great. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because we're getting married.
Ah!
Awesome.
Yes!
That's great. Congratulations.
Yes.
It's the first anybody's going to hear about it right now.
Amazing.
That's
I will be there with
awesome.
bells on if we're invited.
yeah,
We're so
we
happy
love
for
it.
you guys. We love y'all.
We're not going to put anybody through the drudge of the actual marriage. We're just going to have a party.
Fuck yeah!
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, it's
Let's
great.
celebrate the two of you. Your beautiful love, just everything
That's
you guys
great.
have been through together. We all survived COVID together, and that is a testament of surviving a relationship. But-
Yeah,
it's all about love.
But yeah,
That's
it's
it.
all about love.
That's
But don't take your eye off the ball because believe me, they're not going to take their boot off our necks.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that's great news.
Because they're already,
Awesome.
yes. So thank you a lot.
Congratulations.
We took a class actually. We went up to the local.
Silver School.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's like a kind of a cool compound where they do classes, and we took a silversmithing class.
Amazing.
So you made
Yeah. So we learned how to work with like brass and
Awesome.
Whoa.
fucking copper and a little bit with silver. So we did the basics course and it was so fucking rad. Like,
Yes.
using the little saw and soldering and little
Right?
hammer, like being like a dwarf in Lord of the Rings,
So we're gonna add that to our business because we selling art, and I've been selling some commissioned jewelry that I've been sourcing stuff from all kinds of crazy places, but now we're gonna make the jewelry.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
awesome when you can just fucking make everything from scratch.
do it
instead of-
yourself.
That's how I am with tables. I'm like, man, I've got to get more proficient with actually cutting wood and making my own tables
Yeah.
instead of outsourcing the tables. Kind of like you with jewelry instead of like fucking with someone else's piece and resoldering
Right.
something or
but
whatever.
the pieces
exactly.
the pieces you source are fucking quality
Tasteful,
and original. That's the thing. It's like you
Yeah.
can go buy all your beads and shit like that at Michael's,
Right.
but when we look around, I like to find the pendant first and build a piece around that.
For
There's
sure.
some vintage shops out here, like
A lot of cool shit.
antique shops. But we need a fucking Skinner table from you.
I got you. Okay.
I think
So
they got one.
what are we? No, we're doing a coffee table. We're gonna do a big table,
Big
right?
table? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What imagery do we want a live shot? Do we want an album? I mean,
Black and white with Ed King from Fillmore.
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
All right. We'll find it.
Right? That you
Yeah,
have to be that. But Ed King's so funny in that.
Ronnie barefoot with his hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny in that because he's like. He was like crazy hair. He's got this modified. I don't even know what kind of guitar it is. Like a Les Paul Junior. I don't know. He was a cool guy. He was interesting.
Man, all those guys. Skinner. We just have this love for Skinner that most don't understand. But if you really dig deep into Skinner, that's just like the bread and butter of life. All of those songs is just like, man, listen to these songs. Be a good human. Be good to your
heart.
Yeah, just be good to your friends and family.
They all have
And
lessons and morals to them.
absolutely, man.
And
They're
the
so good.
grooviest swing ever.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
like groovy.
I
swing.
got a real good insight into that band recently when I read their producer Al Cooper
Mm-hmm.
wrote a fucking killer book, and you get some real cool inside information on Skinner, like the personal shit. But what he was saying was like when they came to record, they were so fucking tight. Like Van Zandt ran that band with Whip. He said they were so tight. They had how they had all their guitar solos like totally written out, like they played the same shit.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, man. They're really happening. I think.
Yeah, and I always heard that like Ronnie wouldn't write down lyrics. Like he said that if he couldn't remember the lyrics, it wasn't good enough.
Mhm.
So when
Wow,
they
he
were
didn't mean them enough. Wow, that's interesting.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, man. So he would go in there and nothing be written down and be like, nope, if I
All
can't
memory.
remember them, they're not good enough. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's how tight you got to be. I mean, and that's doing it right. I mean, if you go to the studio and you fuck around writing songs or you kind of half-ass it, then it's going to cost some money.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Hell
can hear
yeah.
it in the guitar solos when you can hear especially like in headphones, you can hear the same solo just dubbed, like
Yeah.
2 tracks of the same solo and it's note for note the same solo. I'm like, wow, how are they doing that? They're
3 guitar
amazing.
players.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
wild
pretty
people.
And I thought Steve Gaines was really a monster. I mean, when they added him in, it was like, wow, they're taking it to the level. I mean, that last record, I like it, but I gotta say it's not my favorite.
What, Street Survivors?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
That's
real,
how
it's real
I
polished and yeah.
I'm gonna give me back my bullets, girl. Probably if I had to choose off the top of my head, because I'm every mother's son. That song is so amazing. Of course, title track, "Give Me Back My Bullets," and then "Cry for the Bad Man" is just
Yeah, every song I'm giving back.
yes. I mean,
trust.
fuck, every
Yeah, you got
song.
nothing fancy, so it's like
That's it.
Fancy,
That was my dad's favorite. He
That's
liked
the one I
cheating
like
woman.
playing. I like playing that one. Nothing
Yeah.
fancy.
you like that was the best. Yeah,
Yeah,
Saturday
that
night.
one.
I mean, that's like Ed King's like, man, really like a lot of those good riffs. A lot of those good riffs are his, I think. You know,
Yeah,
Yep.
Ed King wrote a lot of stuff.
Skinner.
Really?
All right.
That's right. Okay, so Wino, a lot of people may not know this either. You've been learning how to tattoo, kind of, and practicing.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I have been, but I haven't had as much. Been practicing as much as I'd like to, but you know, I've been.
Hey, life gets
yeah.
busy. That's how Johnny is too. But just for
Oh,
funsies,
oh, yeah, out there.
Are you practicing?
Hell yeah.
They're in style, so I think they're cool.
Well, Wino and I, we had a pact years ago, and it was like, I'm going to teach you how to tattoo. You're going to teach me how to play guitar, but I haven't learned how to play guitar. So
Good, and you're the
We're,
fucking queen of tattoos.
we're probably in the same place.
yeah, so we need to catch up on our mission. But the man, we'll
Power
start
time, dude.
that's it. Power time tattoo. That's
right.
my
We were
dream.
talking about that yesterday.
Yep. To eventually
I
open a
can't.
shop.
It's hard for me to decide the next tattoo I want. You know,
Dude,
I
we're
got a
running
lot
out of room. Well, you got your legs, huh? Your legs are pretty blank.
the solar one turned out really well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's nice.
That's the last
The
one
guy
we
that
did.
makes
Yeah,
those
that
amps
was
was
the last
like,
one.
the guy that makes the amps. He was like, man, because I told him I was going to get it, but I don't know if he ever thought I was. But,
He didn't
Right?
believe you.
yeah,
Talk is cheap these days, but you're a man of your word.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back up and. You know, I got this strange thing I've been building for y'all too for a little while.
A cool thing.
Yeah,
I can't
pretty
wait.
cool. It's sharp as fuck, man.
It's dangerous, but it's
I'm
beautiful.
excited.
It's dangerous. Uh-oh.
Y'all gotta visit winoart.com and get all your Wino originals, man. I bought a couple things, and I bought a painting for a friend, and he's like, "This is fucking amazing." You know, I'm like, "Dude,
That's
you gotta
cool.
go, yeah, gotta go."
Yeah, wino-art.com. And you know, I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the people that bought some. I mean, it kind of kept us afloat over the last couple of years.
Right.
I was pleasantly surprised at what we're doing. I see your sword back there. All right.
Yeah, it's wood.
Okay, so on that note, that's a Slayer prop. So we wanted to ask you about. So Brydog, drummer of the Obsessed, sent us the picture of him, kind of behind the drum kit with Slayer on the stage when he was teching for the Obsessed. What was that, 83 or 84 when you played with Slayer?
80. It was late. Must have been like 80. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
84.
it was kind of a weird. It was a weird show for us because Slayer was supposed to headline, but it was at this kind of a really rundown place, in Baltimore, the Loft, I think it was.
Yeah.
But Slayer was supposed to headline, but they told the promoter that they wanted to play second because they had a long drive. Well, down in New York City from Baltimore is only like, I don't know how many hours that is.
Yeah, it's a couple hours.
But it was sort of like it was a power play because they usurped our slot. We were so happy we get to support Slayer, but they usurped our slot, and then we played half our set and got the power pulled. So well, for the club, so I got to say, there wasn't really much stage management in those days. I mean, it was a lot of fun, of course, but
Right.
a little disappointing for me. That's all.
I just think it's crazy that like life comes totally full circle. Like and with Johnny now, and you guys were in the same room because you were on that tour.
Yeah, like
and he in 1983.
30 years ago, 40 years ago. Or we're in the
How
same
many years ago?
I had
how
no
many years
idea.
ago?
That
How
must
many
have been 40, right? At least, or 30 at least.
83?
83?
At least 30.
That's
Yeah.
Oh, exactly 40. That's a trip.
It's exactly 40 years this year. 83.
Shirley and I aren't even 40 yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we thought about being into metal when we were.
But we were probably in that fucking same room too.
we were. Our energy was there before we were manifest.
If I'm not
That's a
mistaken,
fucking scene
if I'm
right
not
there.
mistaken, that was right when it was pretty early in the Slayer game because
Yeah.
sure I think that there's only the EP and the full length out, right?
Yeah, that was with COC, right? So was
Yeah,
that?
yes,
Yeah,
it
it was
was.
COC. Yeah, so that was
Yeah.
that must have been either 83 or 84. I'm thinking maybe 84.
Was that the first Slayer?
83
Or
or-
was it?
First,
Was that the first tour?
Our first major tour was '84. Yeah.
I think it was. I think that's what Brian told me. He sent me that picture because when I tattooed him, when you guys were in the shop, he was talking about it. He's like, man, I have this fucking picture and Tom's on stage and I'm in the back. And I was like, no way. And so he has probably this shirt on. This,
that shirt.
This
Yeah,
classic
that's the
shirt.
one.
Yeah. And I'm like, do you still have the shirt?
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah. That was so wild, man. That was so wild. Like the story of me and him getting together, because he was just sort of like the kid, He didn't even really, he liked punk rock, and he told me the whole story, and he didn't really give a fuck about metal or hard rock or anything like that. And then Joe Lally, I used to have, bad tenants when I rented a house from this lady, and I would rent out the rooms to my friends, But that's usually a bad idea, especially back then, So finally, I was having so many problems with one guy that he was at. So then Joe Lally, he lived right down the street, and he wanted to get out of his parents' house. He's like, can I move? Can I rent the room? And he struck me as a real responsible guy. So I said, yeah. Coming from me, I know it sounds weird, but I mean, I got to go around and 5 people collecting money to pay the fucking rent or whatever.
Yeah, man.
So Joe moved in, and then he said he turned me on to Joy Division, one of my all-time favorite bands. I think one of the heaviest bands ever.
Right.
In terms of, just relatively. And then I turned him on to Raw Power, Iggy and the Stooges. So we had this great friendship built up. And then when we parted ways, he joined Fugazi, And then
wow.
We were still doing the Obsessed. And where's I going with that?
You're going to...
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. So Joe and Brian lived next to each other. And Joe was sort of like Brian's big brother, take him to shows all the time, And so basically when Brian finally did see the Obsessed, then that changed his world for him, he told me. And, he was our road guy then. He just helped our drummer at the time. So, when things came to a full circle way back when we first did the Obsessed reunion with the original lineup, well, without Mark Lowy, out here, our drum, Eddie called Brian and said, hey, can you help me? So when Brian came out this last time, all of a sudden now we played drums. The entire interim of him working for us and us not knowing each other for many years, he picked up the drums. So now he's a kick-ass drummer. Wheels were coming off the wagon. Eddie didn't want to do it anymore. Eddie couldn't do it anymore. And so Brian, it's a weird way it happened, but he stepped in, and ever since that, we've been the team. I mean, I really couldn't do it without him. Straight up.
And you
awesome.
ask him, you're like, well, what songs do you know? He's like, what do you want to play? I know them all. You're playing the Obsessed. Yeah.
So that's for me. It's like, it's a dream come true. You have a comrade in arms who is also my best friend. And
he truly respects you. I've seen that firsthand. You can just tell he's
and
I call
he's
it Wino worship.
and he's the man. And we've seen, he has endured some real heavy shit over the last couple of years, and he's still in the game. And hats off to the dog, man.
Yeah, dude. When we're on the road at like 3 a.m, we got like a 6-hour drive. Dog's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." He's the fucking best.
Yeah, he's the one. He takes charge. That's why he's the general.
Bride dog, road dog.
Yeah.
It's a team man, but he's the general.
Wow. That's a long time to work with someone.
Yeah.
That's great. You can build that trust, because it's hard. Who do you trust in the music industry?
Who do you trust anymore? Period. I trust you 3 people. That's about it.
Brothers and sisters.
Man, I swear to God,
associates.
The older I get, and the more I learn about this country, any country, the whole world, and all the machinations, the more that I don't trust anybody either.
Yeah. Same here. Like, trust is her. I trust her with everything, and my family, my sisters, of course. And that's about it.
I know.
There's
really. Isn't that crazy? It used to be at least you could trust. How many fingers? How many people can you trust?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy.
Yeah,
I think that. I mean, I'm glad we're keeping our chins above. Our heads up, and somewhat trying to be somewhat happy, because it's pretty. It's kind of desolation.
This is crazy now. Crazy times. I don't know.
Create or die.
Yeah.
Create or die.
Create or die. That's our motto.
That's our motto. That's what keeps me going. Like, people are always like through all the grief and tragedy and stuff that we've endured, everyone's endured, through the last couple of years, people are like, how do you stay positive? Johnny helps me a lot because he's just very positive and is like, you got to move on.
I try.
Yeah, no, you're great. Like, I dwell in the past and he doesn't let me do that, you know?
That's exactly, you know what? Because she's the one who keeps me bothering. You know, like, okay,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Godfather doing all that bullshit, you know, but basically, you know, I think that I pay attention more to what I'm saying and doing now, and I think that the negativity that I harbor somehow is she tempers that.
Yes.
I guess there's always a way to transfigure it, like knowing that something's wrong and trying to figure out how to do something about it, whatever's in your power. Hell yeah. That's, I think, the positive way to transfigure it.
Right.
Johnny, what's your sign?
My zodiac sign?
Astrological.
Oh yeah, Pisces.
Pisces. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess you did not.
I think you said Pisces. Yeah.
Are you
He's
tattooing?
chill.
Are you tattooing these days?
I've been practicing. My last
Yeah.
tattoo was a big fiend on some dude's calf. It was like a fiend in the coffin.
The Coffin Misfits logo, and he killed it. And my client's like, dude, I fucking love it. It's my client that is now our client, you know, and he's like, I want to get tattooed by Johnny. It's awesome because
Cool.
everybody.
Yeah, it was a few months ago, but it came out. That's my sixth tattoo. I've done 6 tattoos so far. So
Yeah.
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 Well, I got a lot of room, man. You know.
Yeah. Next time you come down, I'll try to, I don't know, do like a logo on you, like a.
We'll all tattoo each other. It'll be great.
Yeah.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Why
Yeah.
You've tattooed me twice. You signed my Vitus logo. I almost forgot about that until recently. It's here somewhere. It says Wino. And then you did the up club on me. Right here.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Right here on top.
That was the first one. I remember I was like, not so deep. But I was like, no, that spot just fucking hurts.
I didn't know you were going to ask me to do that day, you know. I was getting a lot
That
of
was an
pushback.
honor.
I was getting a lot of pushback from where we were staying, if you remember.
Mhm.
And you know what I mean? That was yeah. Learning how to like at least, you know, hold my tongue another 10 seconds.
That's right. Okay, I wanted to ask you a question. You've probably been asked this a million times, and I don't want to be redundant. I wanted this to all just be natural. But so I was going through. I'm going to show you my crate
Holy
of
smokes.
Wino
Look at this
vinyl,
crate.
and I don't even. I just think that you have the greatest discography. You have been on so many fucking records. You're so amazing. Hold on. Here we go. Okay,
Ooh,
so
yeah.
this is all of my Wino vinyl here.
Wow.
So I was going to ask you, do you have a favorite? I mean, is the Obsessed your favorite project you've ever worked with because that's your baby? Or do you have, aside from the Obsessed, what's your favorite project? I mean, obviously you have Spirit Caravan, Hidden Hand.
Well, you know,
Shine.
yeah, wow. Yeah, I recently got that myself.
These while you're talking. You signed mine recently.
Oh yeah.
This was probably my one of my first records of yours I ever got, early 2000s.
I love that. I love that record, man. I love that record. That was like, you know, when we stopped working with Chris and we first went with Bruce before the Hidden Hand. You know, the bass with the Hidden Hand, Bruce, R.I.P. He passed away last year too, or this last year. But we decided we wanted to, you know, get our sound up a little bit, and so we started going to Bruce for Curse. And that was the last single that Spirit Caravan ever did. And I love those tunes, man. I think Sherman's song, you know, on that record is amazing. I thought it was a great single.
Yeah.
Is that the white vinyl?
Ooh.
White, right? I think it white?
I think it is white.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So what'll be and
So that was the last thing. This was the last thing Spirit Caravan ever did. It was officially. Oh yeah.
And I
Cool.
tattooed this on Sherman, the eyeballs around his.
Oh,
When we
yeah.
were
Oh,
out
yeah.
In my old house, he was like, "Man, he had the snakes." The
And that's a
snakes.
Daniel
Yeah.
Higgs. That's a Daniel Higgs design.
That's it.
Like, yeah.
One of my all-time favorite tattooers.
Yeah, man.
That's
God
a
damn it, I
masterpiece.
missed the boat on the tattoo. From him.
Oh.
But you know,
yeah,
to
dude,
answer your question, though, I mean, it's hard for me to say because
I'm gonna
you
go
know,
through this while you talk.
I want to give everything as much as I can to everything. You know, like I gotta say, Vitus was amazing. Vitus took me farther than
Yes.
anything I've ever been in.
For sure.
Me and Chandler recently we made friends a couple days, or refriended a couple days ago,
Yay!
Oh, nice.
and you know, I'm not trying to hold any bad blood. I mean, there's a couple people in the past, you know, like Guy and the you know, and the Dutch swindler and another cat in the U.S. that They totally fucked me over last year, but you know what? I'm not dwelling on
Who
it.
do I need to kill? Because you know I will. I will kill for Wino.
We got shovels. We got shovels.
We got a rope.
Hey, Brittany, that's amazing. Amazing.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
we worship Wino in this house. We think you're one of the. I always tell people Wino is one of the fucking last guitar heroes. Do you realize this? Like when I was a kid, like my dad was obsessed with 70s hard rock, and early Ozzy was on the radio all the time, and Randy Rhoads. I just remember hearing Randy Rhoads and just all these guitar gods that my dad worshipped. He loved Glenn Hughes, which obviously that's bass, but like just Deep Purple and just all these old school bands. And you know about all these guitar heroes, but they start dying off, and then it's like, who's left? Who's really left? And people are like, oh, Zakk Wylde's the last. And I'm like, dude, Wino. And sometimes like my friends and I'll have talks. It's like, why isn't Wino like revered like Lemmy? And to people like me, you are my Lemmy, my Ozzy or Randy Rhoads or whatever. To me, I'm like these, and your message and your songs and your lyrics are so much more powerful, I think, than any of the predecessors, because it's real. And I just think that you're awesome, Wino. Sharlee, you're amazing. You fuel him to want to write more, and I think that having the right partner really helps you create. Or we will die. And that's what I was going to say about the pandemic is like, what keeps me going is creating. And if I don't make something, I don't feel whole. Like I feel like I'm just sitting around and I don't feel good about myself if I'm not putting my energy into something creative, or if I'm not, tattooing someone and helping heal them through the tattoo that I'm creating, so. And I think that we all relate on that level.
It's the same way. I mean, if we didn't have what we, each other, and we didn't have our, our ability to create, I couldn't even wake up. I couldn't even get up.
And it's inspiration to create something to be really grateful for. I think the fact that the inspiration strikes,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, I think we're in an environment now, just as like kind of puny humans that, we need this to keep our sanity in a way, it's like, I think life would be bleak without art, that's like art is life, pretty much whatever direction of art you take, but I feel exactly the same way.
Sure. Like without music, man, I can't even think of a world without music.
I know.
That's right.
Impossible.
That record right there, Shrine Builder.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have the Holy Grail.
To me, okay, I told those dudes, I was always the black sheep, okay? I'm always the black sheep, and, working with Kelly, working with Scott Kelly, working with Dale Crover, working with Cisneros, I mean, it was a dream come true. And I told those dudes, not an ego talk, I just said, listen, with our pedigree, we should, when we're touring, we should be carrying a small amount of production. We should have people to help us. We need helpers. We can't put all the burden on fucking Tony to like stage manage, drive, babysit, blah blah blah. And the first thing he did was lose his laptop because he was under so much pressure, right? So the point I'm trying to make is, I told the students, with our pedigree, we might expect to just break even one or two tours, but it's going to snowball, And of course, everybody just wanted when you try to save money so hard, eventually you're going to fuck up. It's going to cost you.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to spend the money where it's needed, and you got to pay your help, man. If you don't pay your fucking help, where are you? I mean, we tour with like the three of us doing everything, and we finally got to the next level where we're going to take a couple people out next time.
Oh, nice.
So it took a while from sort of like the right people, are always. Bring them into the family, but I think we got it. We got a guy, two people now that are going to help us.
Awesome.
And the next person will be a sound man, and we should be up to the next level. I mean, it's hard when you play the kind of music we do, and I think being kind of outspoken,
being real.
Yeah.
But you want the right tribe, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of what's kept us under the radar a little bit. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about being PC, and
yeah, exactly.
PC sucks. And,
where's our Dillagaff shirts when we need them?
Yeah. PC is PC for fascism.
Yes,
that's so true.
Exactly.
It's so true. And the world is gone. I mean, everything is ass backwards, man. Everything is ass backwards. I mean, it's like all these fucking regulations and all this shit like going on with the.
It all started when CERN started smashing them damn atoms, man.
It's fucking atom smashers, man.
Smashing them atoms, creating all these universes, and now we're just like intertwining and like.
Did you ever see
hell?
All these weird loops.
Johnny,
Yeah,
did you ever see that video? Did you ever see that video on YouTube that surfaced from CERN where they okay. To me, it looks like they do a real sacrifice in front of they've got a big in the CERN on the inside of CERN, I guess where people actually sleep. There's a big statue of Shiva.
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Video surface, you can find it. It's outrageous. Basically, a video surface, some dude looking at his hotel window, clandestinely, supposedly filming what is a sacrifice right there in CERN. You just have the hoods. They've got, and they bring out this fucking drugged up girl, and they lay her down, and blah blah blah. And also, you see the flash, boom, over. But I mean, a lot of people said that oh, it was fake. It was fake because you could see that the dude who's filming it also had a hood from the shadow.
Right.
And it's fucking weird, man. And that's what caught when I saw that. Then I started paying attention to CERN.
Right.
And that's amazing you brought that up because
He
there's
went
also
there.
this kid.
He
Huh?
went there. He went
Oh,
there.
really?
I visited it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you know about the logo, right?
Yeah.
3 6s.
The 3/6s and that Shiva you're talking about is a big statue they have on the grounds. It's outdoors.
That's where they did. That's where
Yeah.
the video was from. They did allegedly they did a real human sacrifice in front of that statue right there on the ground.
I believe
Because the
it.
whole deal is, nobody's allowed in there. Well, whatever it is. But
Yeah, how did you go see
Some
it?
parts. Well, it was a tour. They gave
Yeah.
us like a private tour because we were there with the band, and
Yeah.
I don't know how our tour manager hooked it up. He's like, "Hey, man, who wants to go to CERN?" I was like, I do."
that's pretty
So-
cool. They're on they're trying to repair. I think they took some heat, in
Yeah.
the press, and I think that they're trying to hey, look, everything's cool. We're not trying to fucking break the 7th seal and let out Leviathan or whatever it is.
I think they did.
I think they already did.
Unintentionally, they did. I think. I don't know. It just seems everything's so backwards now. Like,
Yeah. Well, they say that there's a kid, there's a young guy who they say is probably the smartest person in the world. Like he's an astrophysicist, whatever you call a quantum physicist already.
mhm.
And this kid is, brainiac. He's probably another spirit that's like, reincarnated, But
Right.
anyways, he says that he did all his mathematical equations that are too difficult for, anybody except
Yeah.
him. And he said that what CERN did knocked us into this weird kind of, didn't knock us into another dimension, but just kind of knocked us sideways into like this time space,
Yeah.
weirdness. And that's what's causing all the what is it, the mandala? No, not mandala.
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit of that, but but I get it though. And I think that, it seems like everything is really weird these days.
Mhm. Same here, man. I know that kid. He's like 16-year-old kid, right? He
Right,
explained
yeah.
explained everything like in terms that normal people like us can understand.
Layman's terms.
Yeah.
For dummies.
I mean, who the fuck? But to him, it's probably like art,
Yeah.
This
another language. Oh yeah, this is what this says. Oh wow, thanks.
Yeah.
That's the smashing of atoms, looking for that particle, and they found it. They did find that particle.
They
the
did
God
find it.
particle. Yeah, that they call it the God particle. It was found. But all right, stop smashing atoms, man. You found it.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
study it.
Well,
You might
Done.
not want to mess with that too much.
Yeah, they were worried
Yeah.
about creating a black hole, and then it took me a really long time to wrap my head around what a black hole is.
Yeah,
Like
serious.
I had it explained to me really succinctly by a really smart kid I know, and Justin, he's also an artist, and he explained it. He explained to me exactly what it was, but I couldn't re-explain it. But I mean, messing around with shit they shouldn't be messing around with, and there's a reason for sure. Why this whole Luciferian trip to this, and also the tunnel opening ceremony.
Oh right,
Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know about that.
the tunnel.
Okay. This is the scariest thing you can find on YouTube anywhere. When CERN was inaugurated, they had to get there. They had to bore through a mountain to make a whole road.
Mhm.
They built this whole superhighway just because of CERN through this huge mountain range. I think in Switzerland.
That's what
Okay,
you yeah.
when they had the dedication to CERN, they closed it off, and they had the most sinister theatrical
Yeah.
play you're ever going to see.
Like an opening ceremony.
It's completely
Yeah.
predicting what they want for the rest of the world. Enslaving the population, all these weird dancers all in their blue prison shit. You know, demons coming down from the sky
Demons
like
coming
fairies.
down, yeah.
I mean, serious shit. And the only people there were the elite, you know, which is like, you know, they are fucking
Yep.
Schwab and his ilk.
Yeah. Schwab.
All the
Big,
presidents.
ugly.
Yeah, such franchising, like big ugly.
Fucking
Yeah.
evil, man.
Yeah, I saw that clip. I'm like, is this? I thought it was staged.
I think
it
I've
just,
seen
it
that,
didn't
but-
look real. I'm like, wow, it is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, people dressed up like demons and then coming out of the tunnel all dancing.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
I'm like,
CERN. I've seen that. That's crazy.
Well, you have to see that. It's so
it's
fucking.
weird.
It's unbelievable how like sinister and weird it is. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean,
What is wrong
it's
with
enough
these
to really
people?
turn your stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know really. I can't really understand why people like David Icke are still around. You know, I mean, I guess it. You know, man, conspiracy theory. Those
He's
two
a-
words are the
Yeah,
best
Ike,
weapon the other side has.
Ike
That's
is a
what
little.
we're-
He's a little more mellow. Ike isn't as aggressive as
It's
Jones.
the delivery, or
Yeah, he's just Ike's more like, you know, he got heavy on shrooms one day and he saw God and he changed everything, his perspective. He saw
He's
the
more like a
kids.
professor.
Yeah, he's a professor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if we can't speak freely, though, we got nothing. You
That's
know,
it.
so
That's
it always
the
goes
whole-
back to this
that's
fucking
what our
expression.
country. Yeah, this
Yep.
country was founded on freedom.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Freedom.
Yeah, I mean, the more you learn about these, more you learn about this country. Well, actually, there's like Agatha turned me on to this. Man, I wish I could remember the name of the YouTube channel. It's,
Mind unveiled.
Mind Unveiled.
Okay.
Get into a little bit of that shit. I mean,
Right
just in the
Mind
last couple of
Unveiled.
weeks. Within the last couple of weeks, it's opened my eyes. Like
Yeah.
so much new stuff. I mean,
It's pretty trippy. There's a couple guys we watch on there too, and I'm just like, wow. Like we turned off the regular news. I mean, during COVID, it's just like everybody's glued to it. And it's like, fuck
Yeah.
that. That's the fears machine that they want,
Yeah.
you know, everybody
Right.
attached to. And it worked, dude. I was such a nervous fucking wreck. My dad had just died. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like super riddled with grief already, and then all this fucking catastrophic shit's happening in the world. People are dying. Mike gets murdered. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? And then you realize, like, man, fuck these people. These people are fucking this television is doing this to me. This is making me like a
The
fucking
frequency.
dude. I used to
Yeah,
wake up and
frequency.
put on a fucking record and be like, hell
That's
yeah,
right.
and fucking start drawing and fucking ease into my day, as I say, you know. And then you turn on the news and you're fucked. So yeah, dude. On a lighter note, and all my Vitus records, all like. I used to find like art that you would leave around the bus. I'd be like, man,
That's rad.
John would be trying to clean up the bus and throwing shit away. I'm like, give me that. That's Wino art. I have random Wino art stashed in my Vitus records here.
cool.
Yeah, dude, I take it from the trash can that he throws away all the time. I'm like, this is a masterpiece.
Yeah, exactly.
you
That's
can't do
right,
that.
Shirley.
I
Yeah.
just got-
Okay,
Throw it
so
out.
live your own fucking life. Live your own life.
live your own life. I remember when we
Fucking
did that.
Be honest. Yeah.
Dude, I was so honored. We did that in the middle of a raging party at my house. So it's like the
Yeah.
fucking room was just spinning around me and Wino was trying to zen out. There was no zen.
We were watching the two those metal guys, and Neil Fallon from Clutch was on the show. You know,
nice.
That metal
Maryland
show.
remember that? It was snowy white. Neil Fallon, I can still remember that. I couldn't believe it.
I was just like, I can't believe I'm tattooing Wino's stomach. I better not fuck this up.
Well, the most perfect tattoo ever is the helm of all you did on me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's perfect in every way.
It's a
And
little
then-
raised up, but man, that was like, I remember that was like, you felt like you needed that tattoo to, you know, for that tour. So we did it like last minute, and it was like,
Yeah.
all right, it's South by Southwest. I had to gather materials from friends. I think my friend Doug from Diablo Rojo, he let me borrow a power supply, and we
Oh
did
yeah,
it,
that's right.
and-
I remember that.
Yeah.
And you know the night. Let me see. The night before my incident in Scandinavia, we played Stockholm, and
I was there,
Messiah was
man.
back there backstage, and here comes this. There was this fucking giantess, and she had fucking her face all tattooed. I think she had a Vitus tattoo on her face.
She was,
Or, no, she had
it was
a
her
gigantic
throat or
V.
something.
She had a gigantic V, like right here, like this huge fucking V.
God.
And we started talking. I said, "Yeah, I got my tattoo." And she looked at it and she was like,
She
I'm like,
hexed
"What
you.
do you mean, And she touched. She goes, "Let me touch it." And she touches it. She goes, "Good in war, bad in love."
Not true though.
And the next day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I remember that. Okay, I have a picture from that because it's us, and then it's Messiah from Candlemass, and then Messiah's girl Cage, and we're all hanging out like the night before, and then I think that chick was in the background, and she She was creepy, man.
Like a
Like she
She told
had
me
a,
herself. Yeah, she told me
she had a
herself
weird vibe.
she's a witch. She said she told me herself she's a witch and lived in the mountains. Teeth all fucked up, about 9 feet tall. I mean, I don't know
She
if
had
you-
weird. She had like really kind of like greenish teeth, almost like kind of witchy looking teeth. But she had like super pale skin and was almost had like a clamminess to it, like a
and
creepy,
was a Vitus fan.
a huge Vitus beat. It was like on her throat, and I was like, damn, I thought I was a fucking diehard for Vitus. Goddamn. Yeah, she was hardcore, but I remember she was kind of like she was really grim and creepy. I was like, man, someone get this fucking witch out of here.
A witch.
And then she hexed Wino, and we almost all went to jail, but only Wino went to jail. Damn it.
Sweet.
That was fucked up.
was a heck.
But you're out now, and you're going back to Europe, so that's gonna be awesome.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not going back to Norway, but
Okay, so if Shirley sees that bitch, get her the fuck away from you.
I'm not really
She's
sure.
changed her ways. She might be cool.
I'm
now.
not really sure. I don't think she necessarily cursed me. I think she just. I think that she like. I think maybe she had a little bit more insight about that particular tattoo because
Ooh.
you know how it is. You know, maybe I wasn't. You know, maybe I had the wrong impression of you. Possibly.
Sure.
I don't know.
The meaning.
It's hard to say. I don't really think she cursed me or anything like that. I think she just like was kind of like, you know.
Well, runes are powerful. My instinct says that that's a perfect
Oh yeah.
fucking
Yeah. I mean,
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
So that was 2014 Spirit Caravan
Yeah,
Tour.
that's
Awesome,
rad.
dude.
That's
Rad.
very
That's 8 years old.
yeah,
Sick.
Yeah.
Aw.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
That's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
but it's crazy because it's like sometimes maybe we think a symbol or something might mean something. It's the classic age-old thing with like the Chinese kanjis, you know, that people got tattooed. They're like, man, it means this instead of this. That's different. But
But I'm all about her serving a symbol. I'm all about her serving a symbol for yourself. You
And
know,
meaning it.
if you're giving it the power, you're giving it too. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I think that I'm glad I got it 100%. It definitely, I think, has worked. And I kind of think she's full of shit, but you know, because
Why is she trying to tarnish my tattoo?
You know what I mean? She's like, good and more, then I should just fucking breeze right on through the border. You know?
That's right. Yes. Bad in war, good in luck, maybe. Good in love.
Yeah, luck.
But you know, the symbol was like what Leslie, the berserkers, when they were coming off the ship, the first wave of warriors coming off the Viking ships to just absolutely destroy. They, the Swedish dude told me that they would drink this tea they would make out of this cold water sea sponge that only is in the area out there, and it would just drive them completely nuts. And they would get off the boat naked, winter, summer, whenever, with this symbol painted on their foreheads, and just proceed to like lay waste to whatever they were attacking. Yeah, the berserkers. It's a symbol of the berserkers.
The berserkers.
That is very appropriate.
Wow,
I love
that's
that.
Yeah.
It's like these. Johnny and I got matching little. I don't know if you can see them. The classic sparrow or swallow, you know. And if you get it, if you get it on your neck or your hand, it was supposed to mean that you're a hooligan. So.
Yeah, it's hooligan.
It had to be. My hands were full, so we had to do the neck.
Oh, that's cool as fuck. That's cool.
The old
I
English
did
thing.
a little bracelet recently of some sparrows.
Yeah, sparrows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. It's like old, like, you know, enamel. Cool, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
We're hooligans.
Hell yeah, we're hooligans. Well, awesome. We love you guys. We're stoked for the doc. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah,
man.
doc-
I wanna
Yeah,
go
we
to
We're
it.
so excited to share it. You know, it's been a labor of love for years. I couldn't imagine anything I'd rather fucking spend hours working on than like watching old
Aw, that's
footage.
awesome.
You know, all the music in it is from Wino's catalog. Everything's written by him with the exception of Vitus songs written by Chandler. And Chandler
Awesome.
was so cool about us using those. So it's like
Yeah.
the best soundtrack ever to work with. And yeah,
I was,
I'm
you know,
excited
I
to
was
put it out there.
petrified, with the Vitus thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We might get some heavy pushback. And
No.
she called him,
And we
he was
did.
he was totally cool. I think that,
yeah.
I'm really glad that any of that bad blood has been smoothed over. I still feel like, okay, well, as usual, you got to see the end of the stick, but, you know.
Yeah.
There's definitely no bad blood. Tanya Chandler reached out to me a while back and was like, do you have Wino's info? Dave really wants to talk to him. I was like, that's right. You guys get back together on stage already.
Oh, that's right. That was about his story. That was about his book or something, right?
They're doing a Vitus book.
We interviewed those cats, right?
So we wrote to them, and actually, when we're in Europe, you might be able to talk to them there because he said he'd rather do it in person. He's in Germany
Okay.
for the Vitus book.
So I don't know whether he's got a book coming out or not, but I'm slowly but surely writing mine. I mean, we've been working on it. Took a back burner to the doc and stuff, but slowly but surely putting the memoirs together. And that's when I'm going to fucking name names.
That's right. You
Okay.
say that for the book. man.
X-rated book.
I'm
Yeah.
not fucking any tours or anything that can happen now that, in regard to like, my what do I call it? My career.
Your sordid past.
But the book's going to be the tell all. Cause it would be impossible not to.
It's gonna be
You got it,
awesome.
man.
You reach a point when you're just like, I want to tell the story, but I also want to fight back. Fuck it,
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yep.
That's right. You're a badass. You're one of the last of the great guitar heroes.
Yeah,
I
guitar
truly believe that.
icons. Yeah.
I mean, people will
exactly.
be like, "Oh, didn't Wino play on the Probot record with Grohl?" And I'm like, "Grohl played with Wino."
Yeah. That's right.
Yup.
Hell yeah!
That was a fucking project, man.
I
I was
bet.
really honored that he used my song I played on, as the single, with Kronos.
Song.
Also
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, a little bit weird bit of lore. Jason, our new guitar player's mom, used to date Kronos.
No way!
Isn't that crazy? I think that's a
Wow!
crazy little fucking twist on things, dude. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow! Kronos from Venom?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Conrad?
Is he Canadian or did they know each other in Canada or what?
How?
I think that
Is
his
he
no.
Caitlin because she's
Yeah,
British?
yeah,
Oh
she's
god.
British,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they're
rad.
British. Yeah, that's
So
Conrad.
adding the second guitar after all these years, of course I did some two guitar stuff that I loved, with Premise 13, and also with Kelly, Scott Kelly, in Shrine Builder. But adding Jason to the Obsessed, I think, man, I love it. Having two
Yes,
guitars.
it's great.
My thought about two. Here's where Slayer struck me, and one of the reasons why I think that Slayer did so good in their tenure is because the two guitar players, there was no egos as far as, well, I don't know the personal thing, but as far as on stage, it was balanced, it was cool, they played with each other, it was necessary. Two guitars were became like a unit,
Yeah.
And I think that, when people are younger, there's a lot of egos flying around, and, people, I see people with these volume wars, everybody's worried about, he's got to be louder than the other guy, whatever. When you're mature enough to play in tune and together, with a common cause, I think that
This
really
happens. This happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As with Vitus, we found the footage from the two guitar stuff live with Vitus in Switzerland. I love to watch that.
Amazing.
Yeah, right?
Amazing.
You ever seen
The
that?
Switzerland show in like 1989 where Wino
No.
like pulls the shirt off that chick and like and then they're making out a second later. It's awesome.
It's the very first show. It's the very first show that Vitus ever did in Europe. Okay, because we flew into West. The wall was still up, so we flew into West Berlin, and then we didn't even. The label dudes took us out for dinner that very first night. We didn't know anybody, anything, nothing. Armando still alive, and me and David got into it that night in the hotel room, and basically, I broke his nose. Right. So the next day, well, he says I broke it, but I mean, I didn't hit him that hard.
I bopped him with it.
The next day we were drive to Switzerland for our very first show in Europe, Saint Vitus. Okay. Now I'm playing guitar in the band at this point in time because we just released Mortal Cries. So basically, I would sing a couple songs, then I'd pick up my guitar, we'd play Dragon Time, Looking Glass, Bitter Truth, and then all the songs I play guitar on that record.
Mhm.
So so then I'd put my guitar down and then I'd sing the rest of the set, right? Okay, so during the whole night, there's this drunk ass, like dirty Swedish punk rock chick, crust punk chick, and she's just fucking with me all night. She's getting on the stage, she's fucking with me, then she's jumping off and just kind of like, So in the very end of the video, she, man, I remember it like it was yesterday. So finally gets up there again, and now she's getting my beers. Now she's drinking my beer off the stage.
Oh, fuck that.
I kind of like during one of those long lead breaks. I had a lot of time. I kind of like went around the drum riser, and I just came back up behind her. She's still on the stage, like going, "Look, I'm drinking this beer." To all her friends, I was just like, "Whoop," and then I pushed
I
that.
love it. That's awesome. You gotta wait for the doc for that, guys.
Doc, but we found it, online. And Serge, our sound man, he's the guy who took it way back when in the footage. So
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
but it was really, man, the power was amazing.
Yeah.
Back to the two guitar thing.
Two
So,
guitars.
eventually I didn't want to play guitar advice anymore. I was happy to just sing, and that was cool. But for one point, I played guitar in the band too. That was pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Powerful.
Yeah, I remember the fans would be like, Dragon Time! Everyone wanted to hear Dragon Time, and you just go.
And Mark Adams, man, I must say, like when I first joined the band, he told me straight up, he goes, I don't want you to stop playing guitar. Your music is too good. He had the vision originally,
Yeah.
And I wrote Looking Glass sitting in his bedroom, because when I first joined Vitus, I stayed with Mark and his mom for like 2 weeks or something like that. And he always wanted to play More for Cries, that's one of the main things that him and Chuck had, against not against each other, but
Creative
one beef
differences.
that they had. Mark always wanted to play stuff on that record, and Chuck didn't want to because he, it was the weirdest. I don't know why.
Just wasn't his favorite.
It took fucking 30 years for him to realize I had his back. Like
That's right.
I was his sergeant at arms, man. We'd be up in front of 5,000 people. I'd be like, plug in the speaker cable or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Hell
Yeah. That's great.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
that you were.
like, it gave you your opportunity to hone in vocals like nothing else
Oh
could
yeah.
have.
Oh yeah.
That's where I really understand. Yeah.
I remember you told me a couple times on tour, you're like, man, I got to get in that mind frame because it's such a negative, maybe more depressing mind frame than something more like spiritually enlightening, like Spirit Caravan, where Spirit Caravan is all like channeling positive vibes, whereas Vitus is like anger and it's just a different mind frame for sure.
It's what I call Dower Hour.
Dower hour, yeah. Remember the bus driver? The bus drivers would call Dave.
The hour before we're supposed to play, Sam was backstage just looking down. Mark's like, I don't really want to be here. That's what he's thinking. And I was just like, wow. I'm on the bus, like, doing whatever I had to do to get my head in the game, man. I must say it took, I had to be really fucked up.
That's one of the things we go into the doc. Of course, we explore a little bit about drugs and alcohol and like just, the way that different, expressions of music kind of called for different things over the years.
For sure. I remember the bus drivers, they were like, what's going on with the Brothers Grimm back there? When we were in Europe, they called them the Brothers Grimm.
That's the dude who Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean.
No, it was the guys before that. Remember the Tweedledee and Tweedledum English guys? And they were like, hello, Wednesday. They called me Wednesday. Top of the morning to you, Wednesday. What's up with the Brothers Grimm? Are they ever going to come out of there? They've been watching cartoons for hours.
That was a really fucking strange tour.
There were a few. They kind of all run into each other. And then remember there was one where I think it was the first tour I ever did with you guys. It was like some weird like paddy wagon fucking converted piece of shit, like
that's the tour.
Bus, and then you were in the back, like on some futon that was like sliding around or something.
No, that was you. That was That was the
crazy.
tour we did with dude had the homemade bus.
Yes, it was very homemade.
We were
like, Wino's gonna go flying. That thing's like not even bolted down. It was like a futon in the back. It was just in a trailer or something. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he did something. He cut an existing vehicle and added on like.
It's very bootleg.
Added on like a back lounge, you want to call that? And we're pulling a trailer. Fuck, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That's different than the one where you had like a fireplace inside the bus and all the wigs went on fire.
Oh yeah. That was in the early obsessed stage. We did a tour of Europe. We had a 1963 Eastern German school buses over here.
Damn.
They had a coal fire, to keep the kids warm. This is from 63. So basically we had this crazy promoter that was in this vehicle, and he said, let's stop up at my friend's house. He's like a promotion guy for movies. So we go in there and this guy's got all these Wayne World promo packages with the wigs. So we had we're planning with the wigs, we're planning with the wigs, and in the middle, but the people didn't like it. Man, the people didn't like us. Like, we tried to get into Italy. We were in Slovenia, and the war was still happening. Like, basically, the war was almost over in the Balkans.
Yeah.
So, but we were in Slovenia, which is brand new. We played Nova Gorica, which is like the very first. They renamed, as this new country got built, Slovenia.
Slovenia.
So we're in Slovenia trying to get into Italy, and back then all the borders were up. See, it was very hard. Like Switzerland, hard as nails, man. Still is. Italian border just as bad, even worse because the language thing was so weird. So we kept trying to get in. We were in a 63 ramshackle fucking East German school bus trying to get in to Italy from Slovenia. we couldn't do it. And like we tried all these different boards. Finally, we're up in the mountains of Slovenia somewhere, and there's this little bed and breakfast up there, right? Old school. Looks like something out of fucking the gingerbread. But it's on this really tall hill, and so we get a room there. And so, like, we go to the little cafe to eat. And it's like about the biggest living room. There's all these people sitting around, the locals, and we get to talking. And man, they these lavish foods we brought out, like all this great food, and then they bring out these huge fucking sundaes, like literally just this big whipped cream and all that shit. And then they said, they brought out the grappa. Well, the grappa is like European moonshine, And they take a little piece of the branch of what it's made from. They put that in there. And it turns it the most beautiful color green you'll ever fucking see. Oh, wow. So we're drinking these fucking shots of this fire water, and all of a sudden, I don't know why I didn't see before, I see the acoustic guitar behind the bar, So they give me the acoustic guitar, man. Started playing Inside Looking Out, all the shit. Like, nice. Brought the house down, and finally, I was so fucked up, I just fell over on my stool. So my dudes had to carry me over from the restaurant to the adjacent hotel, but they dropped me. And I started rolling down the mountain. They got me. They got me, though. They got me, and they threw me in my fucking room, and I peed the bed. Fully fucking clothes. I peed the bed again. Again, yeah. And so in the middle of the night, though, here I am in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, boom, get up, your bus is on fire. We're like, what? Oh, my God. What are you talking about?
Oh,
we get out there. And one of the wigs, somehow, mysteriously, when the bus was parked all night, somehow, mysteriously, one of these wigs had fallen onto the coal furnace.
Oh,
which was still hot.
It's fucked up.
I don't know how that happened. It could have been one of the locals even have that. Anyway,
I think you got framed.
The only shit that burned up on the bus was my clothes, of course.
What the hell, man? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not it. When I rolled down the hill, I got a cut on my leg that under my pants that I couldn't see, like a scratch. It beat my pants, right? Then I didn't take my pants for about a week. All of a sudden, I'm like, it's itchy. What's going on down here? And I've got this little tiny sore, So I had my bacitracin with me, of course, So I'm putting my bacitracin on there. I'm like, oh, it's just going to go away, Oh, man. Germans have a word for it. They call it Schleppscheiß, which means the walking shit, which means staph infection.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. I had a hole eating its way in my leg, And like, it was so bad. Like, we'd go to eat, we were still playing shows. Like, maybe we'd be eating at the restaurant and they'd have a fire going, primitive EU. And I'd be sitting next to fire, and when I would stand up, the pain was excruciating because all the blood would go down there. So we get to Italy, and there's a guy knew a tattooer there. God, I wish I could remember his name. I'll think of it. But we're in Pisa. This cool tattoo guy, and he looked at it. He goes, I said, look, I'm going to need some medical help. He looks at the tattooer and he goes, man, that's serious. He goes, come back to the tattoo shop so I can dress for you. And we were back at the tattoo shop, and he got me in his chair. He gave me a couple shots, and he fucking squeezed all the shit out of it. Dressed it, and the whole time we're listening to Ozric Tentacles. So he turned me on to Ozric Tentacles while this is happening. I'm hearing this new band. And so after that, he said, but you still need to get to the hospital. So the next day, we got into a city, and this Italians, man, I love Italy, man. This is what they do. They look at me at this emergency room of the city hospital. They look at me, and they're like, might have been Rome or they're like, okay. So they lay me on the table, and I'm just laying there fully dressed in my same pants I've been wearing for this whole time. They just take the scissors, they just cut my pants out. I swear. They just cut my pants away, they dress it, and they sent me on my way.
Nice.
Oh, man. I needed those.
Now you got shorts.
Funny story, right?
That's fucking great. So what year was that?
What?
What year was that? Early 90s or
Is that
80s?
Obsessed or Vital?
It was Obsessed. It was a
Church
year
Within?
we went to Spain and everything that year. I try to remember what tour that was. That might have been the tour we did with Frida. We were like a hellhound thing. Sure.
Hell yeah.
So was it staph infection that you got?
From that cut?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it got pee in it and was
Wrong night to pee yourself.
I mean, it happened.
Schleppscheiß. The walking shit.
Fuck.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Oh, there's a lot of debauchery.
So, do you think that you ever share a stage again with Dave, with Chandler?
Well, it wasn't 3 days ago that I suggested to him. I said, I still have on the same philosophy. 10 cities. Let's do it right, man. Let's do 10 cities.
Yes.
Let's fucking treat our fans right because they need to
Yes.
have that closure, and so do we.
Yes.
You know? And he said, no. I put the band to bed in 2019. And I was like thinking to myself, yeah, because he ripped everybody off. You know, but bottom line is, I told him that I would be willing to do fucking, you know, whatever it might be. You know, I think it should be 10 shows. 10 shows in the States, 10 cities.
Mhm.
A few European cities, if you got that big. And he said, no, put it to bed. But then his last sentence was, but maybe doing a, you know, if I decide to do a one-off, I got the people to do it, and I'll give you a call. I don't know what that means. I mean,
Do it like Misfits are doing, you know, just like big fucking shows, man. Just cater to the diehards.
Yeah.
Just a couple shows
Yeah.
here or there.
I tried talking.
So,
I tried talking
you went out
Jerry and
yeah.
Glenn into like doing like a world Misfits tour. Like do a bunch of dates around the world, like you know, multiple dates and like just the big cities, and then call it a day. You know.
yeah.
Go out
I
with a
mean,
bang.
give your fans something.
Awesome.
Give your fans something real. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so many. I mean, that's how we met through Saint Vitus. You know.
Yeah, I'm glad to have seen Vitus twice with Wino.
Yeah.
I'm fucking glad.
Yeah.
That's why she gets the Vitus ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
love that ring.
That's
That's
a treasure.
right.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
do treasure that ring.
And we're
so
gonna
much.
get into that, man. We're gonna get into that silver stuff. I watched what would happen.
Do
with
it.
this ring. Yeah,
Well, I
that-
felt
that-
bad because after I gave it to you, Bry Dog was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Man," I was like, "Should I have given it to Bry Dog?" I was like, "I just felt compelled to give it to Sharlee, man." I was like, "Man."
Wait a minute. He's not even really a Vitus fan at all.
Well, he's obsessed guy. Well, I know, right? He was just like, he was just kind of like, "Oh, that's a badass gift," and I was like, "Man, I had two, and that's my girl, man, and she takes care of Wino, and she deserves
I
the
think he was
funniest
more
ring."
in admiration.
Fuck
of,
yeah.
he was more in admiration of you giving her.
For sure.
It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I think that's what he was saying. Yeah.
I asked Wino, I was like, "Wino, is that weird if I give her a ring?" He's like, "Let me give it to her in case we ever get married." And I was like, "But I'm so anxious, I want to give it to her now."
Engaged in Vitus, you know, like me and you
yeah.
would be like Vitus sisters.
That's right. Vitus
Vitus
family, baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Vitus sisters.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to know you guys. Really.
Yeah, same
Pleasure
here.
to know you
Yeah.
guys. Y'all are the best. I can't wait to see you again and hug your necks and hang out and tattoo each other and jam out.
Yeah. I really like.
Yeah.
I like the Temptation Wings tattoo from your sticker.
Oh yeah, on
Oh,
on the down
yeah.
sheet.
I've got
Okay.
that on one of my guitars, man. Proudly displayed on one of
Well,
my
Oh, nice.
one thing that I've really been wanting to do for you, and I've told you guys about this, I really want to do a Wino sheet of flash, but I'm so fucking ADD that like my mind goes crazy. Like I'll sit down and I'll get out all my vinyl and I'll listen to songs, but I'm such a diehard fan of yours and your music that there's so much. I'm like, I could do a whole Spirit Caravan sheet. I could do a whole Vitus
Yeah,
sheet. So,
so many
my
sheets.
mind goes crazy with ideas and I don't know how to hone in on what we should do. So if you have any ideas, if either of you are like, hey man, we should do a Temptation Wings, you know, like, cause obviously that's where I told Johnny, that's where Phil got Temptations Wings, in my opinion, cause Phil's such a diehard Wino fan too, that I think that's where Down got that.
sure.
Was
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
Ice Monkey, that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
But you know, what did I say?
The Flash.
You've been asking me. There we go.
I have shit drawn up, but I'm just like, I'm so
Asking me to
overwhelmed.
see my, you've been
what
asking
you
me for
have.
pictures of my Les Paul, and the only reason I haven't sent that to you yet is because it's being worked on.
Oh, good.
Jason's got a dude up in Canada that's been setting up my guitars for me, and that's when he goes back. So, but as soon as I get that back out, I think that'd be a good start.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll
for
do
sure.
that, and then just like I have my favorite songs, of course. Shirley, if you have like any ideas of imagery surrounding
Let me
maybe
get the
one of your
guitar.
projects.
Let me get the guitar.
Hell
I want to show you. I want to show you what else I really like here. Let me grab that.
And I love
Awesome.
that one. I know I've told you before, but with the skeleton hand holding the Wino playing card.
Yes, with the obsessed crosses on. Okay.
Tattooed. Like, fuck
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Hell
rad.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
thank
working on
you.
that. That's yay.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Waiting.
Yay! We'll fill you up soon.
Yeah, fuck yeah. There's a chance we might come out late April, but
Okay.
that depends on if
Oh,
we have a
great.
screening set up, so we'll let y'all know.
Yeah. I do know a really cool independent theater that had they showed Glenn's movie recently, the Veronica movies,
Oh, yeah.
and the Death
Glenn's
Rider.
movie? Yeah.
Glenn Danzig's movie. Well, they showed Death Rider, and
Death
so
Rider.
I might be able to. We've obviously got Glenn's contact through Johnny, so we could hit up Glenn and get the connections for that theater, because that'd be a really cool place to maybe do a private screening.
Yeah.
I'll send
Q&A.
y'all a little thing with the summary and the trailer.
Let's do it. Let's get you hooked up with like a Q&A and a private
look at
screening.
that.
Fuck yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
That's our pin. That's right.
Later.
love that
I love
strat.
it. And then, of course,
That's awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my God.
I got
That's
this
so
Nick
great.
Philp thing on the back. Like, I kept telling him I love that wolf you did, Nick, and he couldn't remember what it is. But I peeled off,
Nick's awesome.
I peeled off his logo and just put the wolf on there. But man, I don't know. I don't know, man.
That's background on your phone right
That's
now.
the one right there.
That's the one. We're all gonna have to get matching tattoos of that.
That's our favorite.
I've got that in my screensaver on my phone right now. Like later.
Later.
What year is that strat?
Oh, it's cool. It's like a '60s body and like a no-name Japanese neck. But I bought it like it is actually, and it's got one of the sluttiest necks ever. I love it. But the reason I know the body is old is because it had a thin layer of this black nitrocellulose on there.
Oh,
No
right, the
primer.
paint.
You see the way it's peeling off.
That
It
looks
was black
great.
at one point.
Yeah.
I love that. It's all distressed.
That's awesome.
And man, I love this guitar. Actually, I don't know what it is. I dropped in 3 early Seymour Duncans when they made the triad with the one red in the middle.
The hot
This
rails.
guitar sounds heavy as fuck. This guitar sounds. I think it sounds as heavy as my Les Paul. It's kind of weird, but I think it's the wood.
Yeah, you got the double rail, the rail
Yeah, the double rail.
Seymour's on there. Yeah, that's rad.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
Fenders.
Cool, man. I love this guitar. I really do. One of my favorites.
I had a Fender Strat, but I would put flat wounds on it so it wouldn't be all twangy. Single coils are so twangy, you know.
Yeah. But this thing, I mean, this is like a one-trick pony. It doesn't twang, but it's just got mega ass. And I put on the pot, just a little bit of gear stuff talk here, but the pots are like they're not audio taper.
Okay.
They're linear taper. So basically it's full on or nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's the way to go.
man, I fucking love it.
Yeah,
so I wanted to adorn it with the finest.
Yeah, that's rad.
I'm honored. Thank you. That
it.
rules.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, man. Let's do this flash. Let's fucking sell it
flash
and get you some fucking gas money for the tour. And hell yeah, everybody support Wino and Sharlee and everything y'all have got going on.
Yeah,
The Obsessed,
be rad.
winoart.com. What are all your
Wino
websites?
Wino-art.
Wino-art.com. So
Hell yeah. And we've been putting all the Obsessed tour dates on new-terms.com.
Yes.
So they're all updated there.
Oh, okay.
hell yeah. And we'll put all your links and everything.
Yeah, there's
so,
socials and all
man.
that stuff. You know.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
We'll
rad.
pump all that. We'll give you all that stuff. We'll pump all
That'd be
that stuff.
rad. That'd be great.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, we love you guys. Thank you for sitting
thanks
down
for
and
thanks
hanging
for sitting
out
down
with
and
us.
talking, man. That was really cool. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
I appreciate
y'all.
I appreciate the
Yeah,
offer.
thank you.
You know, I mean, to do it and enjoy it every minute of it.
Hell
Sure
yeah.
will.
We should FaceTime once a week just to say hi because we miss you guys.
Yeah, we need to. It'd be so nice to have, to be closer together. I wish we could
Yeah.
hang out more.
I know.
But
Hopefully.
if we don't see you, we'll see what happens with the screenings. But y'all come to the
Yes.
I would love to.
Dude, keep us in the loop, and if we can help you in any way or help set up some screenings or whatever in Texas, let's do it. Let's get you guys all the screenings.
We'd love to get out that way too. I don't know what we really love our house here. That's the thing, but I mean, how hot the politics get out here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
When they start stopping people on roadblocks, it's time to get.
Yeah, they start taking away guns. It's time to get.
Yeah, they're trying. It's really crazy like that out here now. And it's getting worse and worse. So, we've always got an eye out. If you guys see something out there, got an eye out. I mean,
Okay.
For sure.
Are you being affected at all by the immigration thing?
It's just like
population.
the thing that I've noticed is just like there's so many more cars on the road, and boy, there's just buildings popping up overnight. It's like Monopoly, just like boop, boop, boop. It's just like, oh my God, condos and apartments. And
Even out there, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, dude, it's everywhere. So it's like we've never bought a house. We don't, have the savings and the overhead and the credit to buy a house. And so we're stuck renting forever. And I'm renting a shop and a house, and it's almost so unaffordable to even like they raised my rent at my shop. And I'm like, man, can I even afford to go to work to make money to pay this rent? And so it's like,
I know.
dude.
Everything got more expensive, but then people's income didn't go up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the shop is cool though, man. I think that's
I love it.
it's a cool location. I think I like
You
got a
dig
good
it?
vibe.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Yeah, sometimes I reminisce about my old shop that was way bigger, as you know, but then I'm kind of like, man, it came with a lot more bullshit, you know? And this one is like, it's private. I let my client in, we make coffee, we hang out, we shoot the
Yeah.
shit, we talk about whatever we want. There's no interruptions. And my clients, the feedback is awesome. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said, it's
The privacy.
It's chill.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
private. It's the way that the entrance is and everything. I think that's cool. I mean, that's nice to have. I think
It's
think
very
y'all got it
pirate-y.
going on. You got it going on.
Thank
really.
you.
Right.
You
That's
too.
good. Yeah.
Hell
You
yeah,
guys
dude.
too.
Stay in touch.
Okay.
We love y'all.
Thank you, guys.
And hell yeah.
Hell
We're gonna go watch Wolfman now.
For the 5th time, because it's our new
I
favorite
love that
thing.
movie. It's fucking great.
It's
Hey,
amazing.
listen.
Long live Ian.
If you go to my Instagram page, right, and you go way back, you can find the early Wolfman.
Yeah, that's right.
Real
The
short
pandemic
clips. They don't
Wolfman.
get it long, but there's some back.
Yeah, they're good.
Wolfman's been at it a while.
He didn't look the same back then. He was more of a square, but now he's let loose. So.
Yeah, he had to get turned on a virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, he got a little gritty through the pandemic, so we
Yeah.
we all got a little
Chandler
rough.
liked it.
You got wear and
Chandler
tear.
liked it a lot. He didn't say anything about where
Resemblance.
the resemblance.
That's fucking great,
Yeah,
man.
it's really good. And the story too is like, all right, yeah, I hear it, I see it. Yeah, it comes
Yeah.
across.
About the
It comes
vibe,
across.
this frequency or that one.
Yeah,
We had to be careful. We could have taken it a little bit farther, but we
Gotta be
wanted
careful.
to keep it lighthearted at the same time.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
it fun.
That's great.
yeah, it's a fine line.
No fun, no alcohol. Oh wait, I don't want to give it away. Hell yeah. Well,
Scalper mandate.
that's right. Hell yeah. We're pirates forever. We love you
That's right.
guys. And hey,
right.
if it ain't heavy,
All right.
it ain't shit.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Johnny. Appreciate it a lot.
Awesome.
All right,
We
thank
love
you, guys.
Why not
you.
forever?
Stay warm.
We can't
All right.
wait for the wedding.
Yes,
Congratulations.
congrats.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
You'll be in the loop for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Love you
love
guys. Take
All
care.
right.
Stay in
Bye,
touch.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was a great conversation with Wino. That was really, I just couldn't stop laughing.
Wino's the best. I mean, I keep telling Johnny about how funny and awesome and amazing Wino is, and he hasn't really spent that much time around him.
Mm.
But I think you can grasp his character and his charm just from that interview. He's
He's
just
funny.
great. He's awesome.
His stories are funny.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, man.
I mean, I've seen him give fans the shirt off of his back, the
Mhm.
rings off his fingers. He's just like, "Oh, you like that? Cool, man. Here you go." I was like, "Dude, you're gonna regret that tomorrow." He's like, "No, it's cool. It's just stuff, you know." So
That's funny.
he's a good guy. One time, he and my dad traded jackets, and my dad had like this Screaming Eagle Dyna Harley, and when he bought the Harley, they gave him like some commemorative jacket with it, right? And so that was like his jacket. And Wino one time was like, "Hey man, I like that jacket," and my dad Wino'd him and was like, "Here you go, man." And Wino's like, "Oh no, man, you don't have to give it to me." But then Wino's like, "Well, shit, you can have my jacket." And I think it was like a French jacket. My dad loved French jackets, so Wino's still like, "Man, I got your dad's jacket." And my dad passed, so that's pretty special. My dad and Wino had a pretty close bond. They were just old school Hellion pirate badass all American dudes, and Wino and Sharlee actually drove cross country to play my dad's memorial, and that was awesome. That was the beginning of 2020 before shit hit the fan. They drove all the way from New York to Texas and didn't ask me for a dime and put out a hat to collect money to get gas money back home, and that was
Yeah,
pretty amazing.
was super.
So, yeah.
It was really nice.
So
Very nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have major love for Wino and
Mhm.
Sharlee, and they're a huge part of my life, and I'm just grateful we got the chance to sit down and talk to
Yeah,
them.
they're good people. They're
Yeah.
really good. He had some great stories. I had a blast talking to him. I'm glad we got to talk to him. That was awesome.
Yeah. So stay tuned to new-terms.com. That's Wino and Sharlee's website that's where you're going to find tour dates, all the videos, the documentary updates, and pretty much everything Obsessed. So newterms.com, new-terms. So check that out, and also check out winoart.com, wino-art.com, and that's where you can find all of Wino's handmade creations, which include jewelry, paintings, art, all kinds of stuff that you can buy, just like custom one-off stuff from Wino. You could even like commission stuff, paintings and drawings and stuff like that. He's just super in touch with his fans, and you can just get something one of a kind straight from the man himself. So check out all their links and support real mofos. He's one of the last of the guitar heroes. Like I said, he's just a great human.
That's right. And they also have a documentary coming out in April. I guess it's going to premiere on April 20th, 420.
420. That's easy to remember.
Yeah, in Woodstock, New York. The theater will be announced in time, but that looks like the premiere date. So if you're in town or if you're there, go. We're gonna try to make it out there. That's gonna be so much fun.
We would try to fly out. We're gonna try to fly out. That'd be great. And then after that, so after the premiere, they're gonna try to do like some limited screenings and hopefully one closer to you wherever you may live, and then it'll be out on documentary. So support Wino, all of his endeavors. One of the last of the guitar heroes. He's just an all-around badass, and I've got so much respect for him. So check him out. If you're not familiar with Wino, get familiar.
That's right.
Check out one of his many bands.
He's got so much stuff going on. It's great. He's got this Adventures of Wolfman versus Big Ugly, which is available now. You can.
It's his not so short film. It's about an hour, but it's amazing. It's so good.
It's like it's animation, stop motion, but it's I don't know what to call it. You can't really describe it. I don't know what to call it.
It's kind of like if He-Man wasn't a cartoon and it was just the He-Man action figures. It's like that, but biker style. It's awesome.
It's great. You just gotta watch it. It has a good story to it and a good point. Good point to it. And I don't know. It's just. I don't know. I'd laugh. His voices are just so funny.
Wino does all the voices.
He does all the voices, and I couldn't stop laughing. I mean, the story is good. It's a good story. It has a really good point to it, a good ending. And but yeah, man, he did it in a great way, where it's just silly and funny.
Yeah,
you got to check it out. It's called Adventures of Wolfman versus Big Ugly, and we'll have the link down in this description for you.
Yeah.
And I know the Obsessed got some tour dates coming up. I know they got some dates in Mexico. Where's that at?
It's going to be like March 23rd. Yeah, March 23rd through the 25th. They're playing 3 dates in Mexico. So check that out if you are down in Mexico. And hopefully he'll have some South American tour dates later this year or sometime soon.
Yeah, they got some shows coming up too here, I guess, in February in New Jersey and in New York City. So check your local advertisement and listings for New York, New Jersey for that show.
Saint Vitus Bar, and I forget where he said in New Jersey, but just those 2 dates, and then they go off to Mexico, and then hopefully they'll be they're going to Europe finally. Wino's finally going back to Europe after a brief hiatus. So yeah, he's gonna be out there. So check him out and support Wino, support the Haunted Chapel, get your name in the raffle, and make sure you just stay metal and treat each other good, man.
That's right. Be good to each other. And enter the giveaways. Be sure to enter, because you can get a very cool tattoo or a very cool table.
If you win a tattoo, please get something metal. All right?
Yeah. something with big, bold lines. And
skulls.
That's right. That's right. Skulls. Can't go wrong with skulls. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching, listening, or whatever you're doing right now.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you very much, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. You guys keep doing what you're doing, keep supporting us, and we'll keep giving it back.
That's it.
So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Check out thehauntedchapel.com for all things The Haunted Chapel.
That's right. Stay haunted.
Hey y'all, this is Wino, The Obsessed, and you're listening to The Haunted Chapel.
Take 2! The Chapel! We got pretty soon. The Haunted Chapel THC. Fuck yeah.
Throat lube here.
I used to have some moonshine in the fridge, but the health inspector was like, no ma'am. So no, we took it out. I have a beer you can have. All right, whenever you want.
Hi, this is Wino. You're listening to The Haunted Chapel, BZ and Johnny.
Hell yeah.
Is that a good one? My name is Wino from The Obsessed. You're listening to The Haunted Chapel. The Chapel.
Don't say my name is.
One more time.
This is Wino.
Talk anymore, luckily.
That's okay. This is Wino from The Obsessed, and you're listening to The Haunted Chapel with BZ and Johnny.
This is Wino from The Obsessed, and you're listening to The Haunted Chapel with BZ